What's going on, 49er faithful, 49er fam, 49er gang? It's your boy 49er Dion here back with another video, man. Hey, good morning to y'all. Happy Sunday. Happy 49er Sunday. I know it's been a tough couple of weeks, man. Last few weeks with the loss to the Eagles and the Dolphins. We about to change all that. We can chill out. Everybody just relax. We good. We gonna change all that. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49. And with that being said, let's get right on into it, man. Um, we got to go ahead and get in here and get these Rams. Now the Rams are currently 4-1. Only game they lost was to the Buffalo Bills, and right now they have beaten the Cowboys, Eagles, the Washington football team, and the Giants. So they've only beaten the NFC East. So does it really say much? Not necessarily, because that division is horrible and there's not really a team in there that's actually even above 500. Um, the Eagles are leading the division and they're 2-3. So you got to think about that. You know what I mean? That's pretty bad. So they beat the Cowboys by 3. They beat the Eagles by 16, beat Washington by 20, and they barely. Hey, good morning, Mariah. Um, and they beat the Giants by 6, and we handled it. Are you awake this time, Roy boy? That's good, brother. That's real good, man. So let's get into some quick stats, a little bit of statistics and whatnot. Let me just kind of angle this a little bit better because it's kind of tint is fading in and out. It's a little different. So, basically, Jared Goff, 109 completions, 71% completion percentage, 8 TDs, 3 interceptions. He's been sacked 6 times. Um, basically, they're running the same system we run it. That's just what it is. Okay, you got a bunch of Kyle Shanahan imitators and copycats running around the league. You really do. And the reason I state that is because Sean McVay was around Kyle Shanahan. He was around Mike Shanahan. So, like, the system that they're running is the same type of shit we running. The only thing different for them is defense. Defensive coordinator is no longer he's the ex head coach for the Cowboys. That is Wade Phillips. Yes, Wade Phillips. There's the name. But they got a running back by committee, so they're kind of doing it like we are. Kid Henderson's got 260 yards, 4.5 yards to carry, 3 TDs. Brown's got 213 yards, 4 yards to carry, 2 TDs. And this other kid, Akers, 113 yards, 4.3 yards per carry. So if you look at that model, that's the same type of thing that we have. We always have a bunch of runners that are consistent, that have high yardage, that always have a couple of TDs each. Nobody gets the full load. It's shared. It's shared amongst at least 2 to 3 people at all times. That's the way Shanahan likes to run it, and as you can see, that's the way Sean McVay is running his situation. So next up, we got receiving. So the guys we got to keep a close eye on: Cooper Kupp, obviously, Robert Woods, Tyler Higbee, and this kid Henderson. So Cooper Kupp's got 28 catches for what you say, Wade Films. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was a long time ago, man. Um, but Cooper Kupp, 28 catches, 363 yards, 13 yards per catch, about 2 TDs. Robert Woods, 23 catches, 300 yards, 13 yards per catch, 2 TDs. Almost similar, just 63 yards less and 5 catches less. Tyler Higbee, 15 catches, 166 yards, 11.1 yards per catch, 3 TDs. And then Henderson's got the running back, had 7 catches for 92 yards, 13 yards per catch, and 1 TD. So that just tells you that, once again, like, look at that Henderson. He's doing it in the running game. He's doing it in the passing game. So you see that's what the Shanahan system is about, whether it be Mike or whether it be Kyle. Because if you remember when Mike was running that stuff over there when he was playing in Denver, like, his main focus was to run the ball. He had receivers, he had tight ends, he had all of that, but he wanted to establish the run to pick up the pass later on. That's how it works. And that's how Kyle was doing it. It's the same exact situation. So um, Cooper Kupp. So you got a couple of yak guys here. Cooper Kupp, 222 yards after the catch. He's got 363 yards. It's a very large bulk of his his catch is what he does after it. So Robert Woods, 197 yards after the catch. He's got 300 yards. That's more than half his production. Um, Henderson, 74 yards after the catch, and he's got 92 yards in total. So you got to think about it, that's the bulk. So he basically catch the ball. They expect him to make shit happen, make him move around, do those things. Um, but they got themselves a little weak version of the Yak Bros over there. Ain't messing with nothing like what we got. But that's what I'm saying. It's similar. It's a copycat league. It's always going to be that way. So for defense, the leading tacklers are more so safeties and defensive backs. But the thing is, they have like so many different people. They lead the league in sacks. They got 20 sacks on the year. Now, of course, the biggest sack leader is Aaron Donald. Now, are we going to stop him today? Let's hope. Let's hope this offensive line holds up because Donald is a pick your spot kind of guy. He'll go wherever he feels he wants to go. He'll go up against Drew Williams. He'll go up against Mike McGlinchey. He'll go up against Brunskill. He'll go up against the whole offensive line. Lakin Tomlinson, Ben Garland. He doesn't care where he lines up. He lines up where he wants to, and he wreaks havoc. The man has 7.5 sacks on the year already. So 2 forced fumbles as well. Like he just wreaks havoc. The man is a beast, and you got to give him his credit. You just have to. There ain't no choice. So their safety, Josh Johnson, the third, 33 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, 4 passes defense, and a pick. They got a linebacker named Kaiser. He's got 32 tackles, 3 passes defense, a forced fumble. Another DB named Hill, 28 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 3 passes defense, 1 interception. Taylor Rapp, 24 tackles, 1 pass defense. I already let you know about Aaron Donald. They got a kid Reader, 16 tackles, 3 sacks. Brocker, 16 tackles, 2 sacks. Williams, 15 tackles, 4 passes defense, 2 interceptions. Jalen Ramsey, he's not showing up really big on the stat sheet, but they've had him more in the slot. You know what I mean? And he's got 13 tackles, 1.5 tackles for a loss, and 2 passes defense. So, I mean, his numbers aren't like ridiculously staggering, but he's doing his work from in the slot right now because they're just putting up the DBs on the outside. They just seem that this new defensive coordinator they're using him differently, using him better. So Rams offense, the number 4 in total offense, number 13 passing offense, number 7 rushing offense. For their defense, the number 4 in the league in yards allowed, number 1 with sacks with 20 of them, number 5 in the league passing defense, 5 passing TDs allowed all year, and the number 9 in rushing defense. So, I mean, when you look at it, pretty much overall in the top 15 on both sides of the ball, at least in the top 10 in defense, whether it be rushing passer and or sacks and passing defense. So they're doing pretty well. They're not doing too bad at all, man. If you take away Aaron Donald's sacks, their sacks become more so pedestrian because that's 7.5, and that would bring them down to 13. But basically what it is they're spreading the ball around, they're moving it around, everybody's getting a touch on it. That's just how it's working right now. So basically, for us on offense, is not as great. We're number 21 in total offense, number 20 in passing, but we're number 10 rushing offense. So even without the passing game working, the rushing offense is still moving. For our defense, we're number 5 in yards allowed, number 21 in sacks. We only have 10, and that's because we have no Nick Bosa. I'm not even going to mention D4's name anymore. I know I said it right now. And yeah, you're right, Roy Boy. He will go right to Mike McGlinchey. Definitely, he will. He'll slide over to McGlinchey and punk him all day. McGlinchey been playing like hot shit on the stick. Had a nerve to get up there in his press conference and complain. Oh well, these couch quarterbacks, these couch coaches, they just gonna pick out just a couple of plays, bro. We got a whole year's worth of film to show that you have not been playing as well as you think you have. If you had been, we wouldn't be talking about the offensive line being as bad as it is. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. So, um, on the defensive side of the ball, like I said, number 5 in yards allowed, 21 in sacks, 10. Number 7 passing defense, only 6 TDs allowed. Number 10 in rushing defense. So I assume that Emmanuel Mosley is going to start. I have no worries about that. So if we have Eman Mosley, we'll have Jason Verrett, we'll have Jamar Taylor as our next guy. He's going to be our slot guy because Kwan is on short-term IR right now, trying to deal with the hip and the knee injury. So hopefully we can get him back healthy and get rolling again. And at least if we have, that going, that works. But we were supposed to have Sherm back this week, but we don't. We were supposed to have Ronald Blair back from a long time ago. He had a setback. That's no bueno. Um, haven't heard much about Weston Richburg, but hopefully he's on track for like at least week 8 or week 9. You know what I mean? So this is a lot. We're still missing our starting center. But the thing about it is our offense is fully intact outside of the starting center. Everybody's healthy. I know Jimmy still got a bit of a bum ankle. That high ankle sprain is never going to be something that'll go away. It's probably going to nag him all year. But I believe that Shanahan is looking at him going, look, you got to go all year, bro, because you see what we got with these backups. This ain't going to cut it. I'm not knocking Nick Mullins because every quarterback has a bad game, and I know a lot of people went and just lost faith in him and ragged on him and talked crap about him and everything. But every quarterback has a bad game. And it ain't a Hall of Fame quarterback that didn't have a bad game. I'm going to remind y'all, Joe Montana's first year with us was not pretty. It was not the greatest thing in the planet. Neither was for Tom Brady. Neither was for Drew Brees. Neither was for Peyton Manning. So everybody's first year isn't just amazing. And quarterbacks have bad games. People we got to understand that. Nick had a bad game. It is what it is. We like what CJ did where he marched down the field, but he still made a dumbass play trying to throw the ball when he had green grass in front of him. He could have walked that 2-point conversion in. And then the way he got us down the field the next time, what does that do? That puts us in position to be able to go ahead and kick the field goal and take them to OT and possibly win that game. So you can say that about CJ if you want. So it's always a catch-22. You damn do, you damn you don't. But what's up, Matt? Just woke up, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm an early bird. I get up real early. I'm always up early. It's just how I am. But good morning, good morning. And so Jimmy G right now, just for the season, 40 completion, 60.6 completion percentage, 467 yards, 4 TDs, and 2 interceptions. Now he hadn't thrown any interceptions before that Dolphins game, but you can see obviously while he was out there, we definitely, his ankle wasn't right. He was not right, and that was my issue. I didn't want to rush him back because they start panicking and they're like, "Oh man, we lost 2 games in a row." It's like, nah, bro, you can't rush that. Them high ankle sprains are a bitch. I've had them before and they suck. And I think, you know what, Matt, that's right. I think him and Kittle would have did some work. I think they definitely would have did some work. The only thing I can say about that Dolphins game is they came in with a defensive game plan that just worked, man. It worked to a T. Ross Dwelly got poor Jimmy G. It took him a minute to get up from that. That linebacker went right past him and blew him up. Um, you know what I mean? So it's definitely an issue. And you're right, Roy Boy. That's exactly why I'm doing this video. It's one of the things I was gonna hit on. We cannot afford another loss in division. We have to make sure that we get this dub in the division because we already lost to the Cardinals in the first game of the season, and that's it. And yeah, that was his first game prime time. But either way, for me, I'm looking at it like, all right, it's cool. The person that I'm not gonna give any slack to, and I'm not gonna say nothing negative about him to an extent, is Brian Allen. I mean, hey, Brian Allen, you had a bad game. You got out there, you got beat. That's honestly on the coaches. It's honestly on the coaches. That young kid was not ready. They knew better. Spoon was over there talking about I'm ready for emergency situation. It's an emergency situation. Get your ass on the field and do your fucking job. That's what's supposed to be happening. Spoon shouldn't be out there playing around, man, acting like he can't play. And then you see this kid get beat up all first half. And it took you till the second half for you to realize you should have been in the game when we already down and we already getting broke off something proper like. Come on, man. You gotta be, you got to be smarter than that, Spoon. And yeah, it is almost as bad as breaking your ankle. Believe me, man, I done had high ankle sprains. I done had an ankle sprain. I've had pulled hamstrings. I ran track. So believe you me, man, I done had all kinds of injuries in my legs that you just wouldn't imagine. I caught a knee sprain because I came down. I was sitting there sprinting so hard that one time I came down on my right leg and sprained my own damn knee and lost the race just based on that. Like these things, it takes time to come back from, and it's all in how your body reacts. So we won't know that. You know, we won't know how people's body reacts. We don't know what's going on with Spoon. But at the end of the day, if you can say you're ready for emergencies, get your ass out on that field. Be a man about it. Suck it up and play. I'm sorry. And when Whitney called him soft, SOFT soft, he was right about that, man. He was right to say that Robert Sala, that was your fault. And that game was on him. You know what I mean? I say I wouldn't be surprised if in one of our games, the Hawks were 35-6. Hey man, the Hawks be pulling. Look, I'm gonna tell you this. Russell is the best quarterback in our division. You can never count him out. Ever. Can't never count Russ out in the game, man. He's the best quarterback in our division. I don't think Jimmy G is better than him. There's the quarterback. I would say Jimmy G is the second one behind him, and Kyler's probably creeping up and putting Jared Goff in the fourth. But we all know Russ is great, and I give him credit for that. I'm never gonna knock greatness when I see it. But Jimmy G was sacked 7 times. Uh, Raheem the Dream, um, 9 catches, 139 yards, 15 yards per catch, 1 TD, and he's got 100 yards after the catch. So you got to think about it like this: you have 139 yards, but you got 100 yards after the catch. That's a yak master right there. 34 carries, 238 yards, 7.7 yards per carry, and 1 TD, and that's only because he was out. Um, yeah, what if we drafted now? Here's a good thing. I was watching my boy Dre, shout out Niners all day. Um, what they were saying was, I believe it was either Dre or Jason, or possibly even Grant Cohn, one of the three. They were basically saying, the same thing that I've always seen. Kyle had people were in Kyle's ear about Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes. He cared nothing about it. All he cared about was Kirk Cousins. All he cared about. He has this love affair with Kirk Cousins, and I have no idea why, because Cousins don't win in the playoffs, and Cousins is a pad statter. He's a stat patter, I mean. That's it. Oh, okay. What's happening? What's up with you 49 Lakers for life? I feel you. You must be on a high still, baby. Lakers won that championship. They got that ring. I give you that. But yeah, man, he's got this love affair with Kirk Cousins. He think Kirk Cousins is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Kirk Cousins is the machine. He's this, he's that. Kirk Cousins don't win in the playoffs. And Kirk Cousins is a stat patter, and that's how he got that money. You got to think about it. That man made, I want to say, Kirk Cousins made at least almost about 150, 160 mil over the last couple of years. You got to think about it. He had the tag in Washington. He got a 3-year, I think it was $84 million guaranteed deal from the Vikings. The full deal is guaranteed, people. So no matter what happens to Kirk Cousins, 84 million is coming his way. Now, of course, you have taxes, you have other things involved, so he's not going to see the full 84 mil. But if you look from just a pure contract status, the man made 150, 160 mil. Easy. And you got to think about it. If you go ahead and go after taxes, what is that? Probably maybe 100, 120, 130. I'm not going to be too mad about that. You could live off if you know how to budget your money, you know how to invest your money properly, you could live off that for the rest of your life. You ain't got to do nothing. You ain't even got to worry about it. You could retire. He could retire and do nothing and be cool. So that's just one of the things, and if we would have drafted Mahomes and put him in his system, I think we would have been humming in ways you couldn't imagine. Ways you couldn't imagine. The kid's pretty. He's awesome, but I'm not gonna sit up there and rag on Jimmy G. I ain't saying Jimmy G ain't no good quarterback, because he is. He's a really good quarterback. Especially when he's on, man. And Jimmy can lift the team up and he can get this job done. You just got to go ahead and give him the chance. Um, so Jerick McKinnon's our other guy in the backfield, 15 catches, 107 yards, 7.1 yards, 1 TD, 66 yards after the catch. So that's another big chunk of that. That's more than half. Um, 35 carries, 193 yards, 5.5 yards per carry, 3 TDs. He scored in every game except for the Dolphins game. And he had a nice little streak going with that. But that stopped. But I don't think that's going to stop his production. I do believe that you see a good mix of Mostert and McKinnon. The difference is that McKinnon is a one cut and go type of guy. Like when he puts his foot in the ground, he's gone. You're not going to catch him. You can catch Jerick McKinnon now. You can. And you can see that because on that 55-yard run he had when we were playing the Giants, where he came back and he came back, man. It was amazing. Like he cut back and go. Like you looked, you said, "Whoa, okay, okay." Okay." But I've seen that before out of Jerick McKinnon. Much love to you, Jasmine. I love you. That was amazing. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. So you have to think in this game because everybody is healthy. This is the only reason I'm picking us to win because under any other circumstances, if we have some offensive weapons down, I would pick us to lose. But let me tell you this: I feel like Kyle Shanahan is done playing games. I feel like Robert Saleh feels like he has to redeem himself for that bullshit performance the defense put up against the Dolphins and him just letting Brian Allen get destroyed out there. So for me, I'm looking at it from a standpoint and saying Kyle Shanahan is going to unleash this offense on the Rams and unleash it in ways that we haven't seen before. You got to, hey, what's happening with you, Dre? What's good with you, my guy? So yeah, man, it's Kyle Shanahan's idea in this game for me, from what I'm thinking, is to destroy the Rams defense as much as possible and make sure that he gets Jimmy into a rhythm early. You're gonna see those passes over the middle. You're gonna see certain things. You're gonna see small little tweaks where he's like, "Hey, Jimmy, I just want you to complete this pass, get into a rhythm, get things going, and as soon as you get things going, we're gonna hit him with the run. Bam, here comes Raheem. Oh, never mind. Boom, here comes Jared. You see what I'm saying? Is Kyle knows that the pressure is now on, and he has to make sure that this offense is rolling. Everybody healthy, so there's no excuse. You can't tell me, oh, well, we're missing Weston Richburg. We always miss the Weston Richburg. He always injured. This ain't nothing new. When we drafted him, he was injury prone. When we got him from the Giants, he was injury prone. And yes, when he's in there, he's great with making the calls on the lines, and he makes the proper, line calls and gets everybody lined up right and tells everybody exactly what to do. But at the end of the day, bro, the dude always misses time. Ever since he's been with, he's missed some amount of time during the year. So we can't use that as a scapegoat. The lines got to step up. They've got to perform. McGlinchey got to be way better in pass protection. He can't just be a good run blocker. He's got to be a great pass protector. You know what I'm saying? Trent Williams got to step it up, and he got to be ready for Aaron Donald. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I hope that he is. Going against Nick Bosa in camp should have helped him out because they're not the similar type of rusher, but the power and the youth is the same. You see what I'm saying? Aaron Donald is a massive individual. You know, Aaron Donald got a six pack. That's ridiculous for somebody to be that big with a six pack, possibly, probably even an eight. You know what I'm saying? The only other person I've seen like that is Javon Kinlaw. Kinlaw got a six pack. The man is a massive individual. He dwarfed Nick Bosa. I seen that in pictures. It almost scared the shit out of me. I was like, good God, that is a large individual. But I feel like the defense knows they got something to prove, and having Mosley back and having Barrett on the other side is going to be great. Barrett is playing very well, and he's staying healthy, which is such a wonderful key. I'm so happy to see that man healthy because when healthy, Jason Barrett is a force to be reckoned with. If you noticed the last game, they didn't do nothing but throw the ball at Brian Allen. They looked on it. Fitzpatrick lined up, and I'm 100% sure that's what Flores said. Hey, fine, Allen, throw it him. Don't you throw near Jason Barrett. They completed what, one, maybe two passes and threw Jason Barrett's way, and that was only when they was in the red zone. They ate Brian Allen alive last week because they knew he was weak. They knew he was green around the gills, man. He got Similac behind your ears. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I don't think Aaron Donald is going to eat the line alive. I think he will have maybe a sack or two. I can guarantee you that. But I don't think he's going to eat the line alive. I think what's going to happen is, you know, Dre said it best. Dre said it best on his show. Run right at him. Run right at him. Don't run away from him. Go at him. Because the thing is when you run away from him, that's when you give him the opportunity to get in that backfield. You know what I'm saying? So I see a lot of things going well for us. And Richie James is healthy again. So what does that say for Dante Pettis? You know, would I take Brian Dawkins or Cam Chat? Ooh, ooh, Matt, that's a hard one to sell, bro. Let me tell you something. Brian Dawkins was a beast. I watched Brian Dawkins play, man. That man was terror on the field, boy. And see, you got to remember, cats like Brian Dawkins, Dante Whitner, You know what I'm saying? Dudes like that, they played in an era where you come across the middle of that field when they was on our Dre. If you still watching, you remember that was called the kill zone with Whitner and Deshaun Goldson. They would light you up. There was no hit on the defensive receiver crap. It wasn't that soft cupcake stuff they doing today. There wasn't nobody getting all that other stuff. But you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. But to be honest with you, yeah, I gotta roll with my bro there. Yeah, yeah. It was I'd have to go with Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor was a game. I love Brian Dawkins. I do. And I'm not taking nothing away. That man was a beast on the field. But Cam Chancellor was just another level. He could intercept the ball. He could hit. He just did everything, man. You bring it down in the box. Like Cam Chancellor was so versatile. So yeah, I had to go with Dre on that one. Cam Chancellor. And yeah, Hittner and Golson, boy. Hey man, we Dre, you remember that Saints game, boy, put that hit on Darius Sproles. That boy got his hard, he dropped the ball. I mean, he was just out there, man. But there's no excuses. There's no excuses. Yeah, that's true. And that is definitely true. Yeah, that was the big thing about Cam Chancellor. He was really big, man. You know, 6'3", 236, 4'4". That's a lot of man moving over the field. You know. The thing about Cam Chancellor, he had a problem with his neck, so he had no choice but to retire. There was nothing he could do about that. Cam Chancellor retired just due to that. You know what I'm saying? Staley retired because he knew he was getting older and he had hit an issue with his neck as well. And he said he wanted to be around, man, and be with his kids and do that. I respect dudes that do that. You got to give them that credit, you know. But this game, Kyle Shanahan doesn't have an excuse. You know, yeah, those neck injuries are very, very serious. And I mean, shit, I seen some shit on. I remember when dude got paralyzed, he was playing against the Raiders, man. And dude went down, and the dude from the Raiders came in, bowed, and just bolted and hit him again. And he didn't even have to, bro. He just bolted at him. He never apologized for that shit, man. Made that man a quadriplegic, man, from the neck down. Can't even be mobile. It was messed up. So you got to be real careful with that. Football yields you injuries sometimes that you are unable to come back from. So it's a dangerous sport. But if you go out there and you play it, you already know what you're signing up for. So don't get out there and get mad. You got to do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, guys, Shanahan knows his offense must click, it must be rolling, and we must get that ball moving. Right? I'm telling you right now, you're going to see a hell of a lot of Raheem the Dream. You're going to be that Maserati that we know. You're going to see a lot of Kittle. And if they try to take Kittle away, you're going to see Debo and Ayuk go absolutely insane. You will see Ayuk get used more in this offense because he is that dynamic. You can't have a taller, faster Debo. And Ayuk's wingspan is flat out ridiculous. So you just put the ball where it's near him, and it's a wrap. Now, see, they worked Debo into it last week. They're not working him in this week. They're not going to have him on no kind of pitch count. Debo going to be out there as many snaps as he can possibly take, and they're going to keep working him. You will not, I'm guaranteed, because you got to think about it, Dante Pettis is going to be deactivated because if Richie James is there and Richie James is activated and Kevin White is there and he's activated, we put Darion Daniels and we pulled him up off of the practice squad, then that's telling you that they're saying there's some changes need to be made. We got to do what we got to do, and that's it. And I still don't understand why Kevin White would be returning punts or kicks because he's worthless and I don't like him. I wish we would have never signed him, and I hope to God they cut him because he just is one of those people who just can never stay healthy. And the one time he did take the ball out, he screwed us and got us on the 10-yard line where he could have just kneeled in the damn end zone and we'd have been fine. That would have been perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? We'd have been on at least 20, 25-yard line and we'd have been fine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, nah, you don't want to mess with Tyson at all. I wouldn't want to get punched by Tyson with a glove on rather than his fist and or brass knuckle. That no, not for any stretch of the imagination. You know what I mean? Ooh, see, you going crazy on me here, Matt. You over here throwing me curveballs. Jerry, Randy, Megatron, Dez Bryant, AB before. I don't Dez, you can take Dez out of that altogether. I wouldn't touch Dez with a 20-foot pole. I don't really, I mean, he was good, but nah. Not my kind of guy. To be flat out honest with you, out of all of those dudes, I mean, I would have to honestly tell you, Matt, I would have to go with probably Randy Moss. I'm gonna go with Moss, and the reason I'm gonna tell you why I go with Moss. I love Jerry Rice. I love Jerry, but the thing is, Jerry was nowhere near as fast as Moss, and he didn't have any. He didn't have the athleticism that Randy Moss had. You know what I'm saying? Randy was a freak athlete. You could put the ball wherever you couldn't outthrow the man. You could not outthrow him. The one thing I can say about Jerry Rice, and I love him. That's actually my favorite receiver of all time is Jerry Rice. But the one thing I can say about Jerry Rice is his 40 time versus his actual. Yeah, he did, and he did as good as he could possibly do. His 40 time versus his actual game speed was completely just off. That was deceptive. So you could look at Jerry's 40 time and you'd be like, man, he's slow. I don't know about that, man. I think he ran like a 4.68 or something. He ran a really bad 40, but his game speed was flat out ridiculous. There were guys that you could watch replays of the games that Jerry played in, could not catch him. Man, some people are like that. Like it's deceiving. The 40 is not something that you always have to grade people on because they butt naked, pretty much. They in some tights and a tight ass shirt, running with no pads, no nothing. I think the 40 should be run standing straight up with full gear, and that would give you a better semblance of what that person is going to be on the field. Because you put them pads on, you put all that stuff on, that puts a little bit of weight. And whatever you play with, George has a little thing that he wraps around his waist to make sure when he gets hit, it don't hurt his ribs. It's bad. Like there's all kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that, and I'd have to say that Jerry would probably be my second coming in. AB just has freakish talent. But period, point blank, guys, I'm going ahead and end this video. I got to get in here with the wife. We got to go eat breakfast. But I'm gonna tell you this: this game is a statement game. This is going to tell us whether Kyle Shanahan believes enough in Jimmy G to put the ball in his hand and say, "I am going to give you this ball. You better throw this shit. You better run this offense. You better do what you need to do, and you better get it together and get it together right now. We cannot lose this game. If we lose this game to the Rams, it's a slippery slope, and I don't want to be on a slippery slope. We 2-3, so the season is salvageable. I'm not gonna give up on our season. We 2-3, like come on now. I can see if we was 0-5 like the Jets. Then the panic button would have been pushed. Beep. I don't know what we do. This is all bad. But we're 2-3. We're a game away from 500. This is easily a season that we can still turn around. And remember, we can sneak into the playoffs as that wild card team. All we got to do is get in. If we get in and we're healthy, all bets are off. We start fresh, we get in there, we make it happen, we do what we need to do. We can still do things right, people. Don't give up on us. Do not give up on the season because it's too early and we're not that bad in the hole. The thing is the offense got to get it together and the defense has got to show up and perform. And having Eman Mosley and Jason Verrett back out there and having Jamar Taylor in the slot, I think we'll be perfectly fine. I'm not going to worry too much about Jamar Taylor being in the slot because I think like this, what they're going to do is they're going to have help over the middle. They're going to tell Dre and they're going to tell Fred, hey, man, hey, you have a blessed day, Mariah. They're going to tell Dre, they're going to tell Dre and they're going to tell Fred, hey, you got to help over the middle. You got to help over the middle. There's no other things you can do. You got to help over the middle when he comes that way because you got to remember, he's still a kid, he's still a rookie, he's young. But we don't have Quan, so we can't have him out there doing certain things that he normally would do. Quan's been playing amazing this year. You know what I'm saying? I agree with Dre. He's been playing better than Fred Warner. So we have to go ahead and go with Aziz. But that doesn't mean that we take a step back. We have to keep the ball rolling. The defense cannot continually say we got injuries. We can't do it. It's not going to work. Hey, you have a good day too. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you just watch the games, do what you got to do. But hey, y'all have a wonderful day. Y'all stay blessed. Stay 49er faithful. We can turn the season around. I'm going to say it's a low scoring game. I'm going to give us at least, it's either 17-14 or 20-17 in favor of the 49ers. Y'all have a wonderful day. Y'all stay blessed. Thank you so much. Sorry, I forgot to do that at the beginning of my video. And if y'all wonder why I wave, this is a wave to my grandma. She got dementia, Alzheimer's. So my mom asked me to do that, and that's kind of how she recognized me. So I know that kind of was like weird. Y'all probably was like, why is he waiting? It's just something for my grandma. But y'all stay faithful. Y'all stay blessed. Dre, hey, I appreciate that, Dre. Hey, we gonna watch this game, and I guarantee you, this is dub, man. This is the dub. And if we do lose this game, I'm gonna tell you right now, we're only going down fighting. This ain't gonna be no beat down like we had with the Dolphins. Ain't no games being played over here. We're not losing this game by more than 3 if we do lose it. I say we win it because I got faith that this offense is going to explode, and Kyle Shanahan gonna show Sean McVay how the offense is supposed to be running, how it's really done. He gonna tell you this is what you do with a Maserati. This is what you do with a Jerick McKinnon. This is what you do with the best tight end in football. This is what you do with the best two dudes out here in football. You got KB, you got Ayuk, you got George Kittle, you got Raheem, you got Jerick McKinnon, you have Jimmy Garoppolo. You have everything you need to win and succeed, Kyle. It's time to put up, shut up. I'm out.